Hello and a very warm welcome to China for one of the big events of the season on the HSBC BWF World Tour. We're in Changzhou for the Victor China Open, with some of the best players on the planet competing for their share of $1 million prize pool. This is one of the top business cities in the country, and this is the Olympic Sports Centre. We're in the gym part of that major sporting arena here for the second day of 5 that we're bringing you live. Here's how the year is divided by the different calibre of tournaments. There are Super 300s, 5, 750s, and this is one of just 3 Super 1000 tournaments, the other 2 having already happened in Birmingham, England and Jakarta, Indonesia. Here's where we've been then, all over the world, to be honest, as you can see, including the States, Far East. We've got a European swing coming up next in Denmark and France. And it all concludes with the World Tour finals just a couple of weeks before Christmas in Guangzhou. Huge prize money on offer this week, and here's what we have for you today. Starting with men's doubles, top seeds GIDEON and SUKAMULJO, big favourites they'll be against their Thai opponents. Mixed doubles action follows that as the 4th seeds from Hong Kong take on the Malaysians Tan and Lai, the latter pair hoping to arrest a slide down the rankings. Then it's the veteran Indonesians Arsan and Setiawan doing battle with the young Chinese pair Huang and Wang. Our first singles action features the iconic Indian PV Sindhu, definitely one not to miss, and that's followed by more mixed doubles action featuring the legendary Indonesians Ahmad and 5 more matches follow that. You'll be in the company of Jewel Clark for those. You can see we'll be featuring the #1 men's seed Victor Axelsen against Anthony Ginting in that particular group of 5 matches. Jan Jorgensen as well on the card later on today. Well, let's concentrate then on our first match. It is men's doubles, as you can see, and here's how the draw is shaping up so far. We've reached round 2. And it's GIDEON and SUKAMULJO, the top seeds, against their Thai opponents. You'd probably say that the #1 seeds, very firm favourites in this particular contest, but we've seen a lot of upsets already in this tournament. Saw the #1 women's seed get knocked out yesterday, so you never take anything for granted. The players on their way, as you can see. As always, best of 3 games. And we do have the Hawkeye system in operation this week, so players will get 2 challenges in each game. They lose 1 if they're incorrect. If they are correct, they keep it.
Mixed doubles on court 2. Ricky Karambaswamy, JD Susanto from Indonesia. Lu Kai Chen Lu from China.
All rounds, you can see the #1 seeds have a 2-love lead in the head-to-head. That was a tough game there in the Indian Open, 28-26 in that second game. As I say, we had plenty of upsets yesterday. There's Marcus GIDEON. You can't really fail to spot him with that bleached hairdo. He and SUKAMULJO voted Best Male Players of the Year in 2017. He got married back in April this year. His father was an international badminton player. SUKAMULJO nearest the camera. There he is, 23 now, Kevin. So he's 4 years younger than his partner. They've actually won 5 titles together this year, so they're on a phenomenal roll of form. And they were both the Super 1000 events that have been played so far. So they won in Birmingham, they won in Jakarta, and I think for the hat-trick here in Changzhou. First title they won was back in 2015, the Chinese Taipei. And in the 3 years since, they've racked up a total of 17 tournament victories. So that's a measure of the task ahead. They did take 3 games rather, to come through in the last round. What about their opponents on the other side of the net from Thailand? They're ranked 22 in the world, ISRIYANET and NAMDASH. 23 years of age, NAMDASH. He was a very promising junior player. Won both singles and doubles at the Thai National Junior Championships 4 or 5 years ago. And his partner is Team ISRIYANET. They have had some success this year. They won the Thai Masters, got to the final of the Swiss Open. Those are both Super 300 events, so this is clearly a step up, although they made short work of the Canadians, Hoshu and Yakura, in the first round for the loss of just 23 points in just over 20 minutes.
Ready to play.
See those bits of plastic perspex there in front of the service judge. That will allow him to determine if the serve is legal, which means it's got to be below 1.15 meters, this new experimental service law that we're trying out this year. Were a few infractions yesterday. I think the players are pretty much getting used to it. Su Xiaofeng in the umpire's chair for this one. And the service judge there is Arta Zaluznoy from Estonia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Marcus Fernandez, GIDEON, and Kevin Sanjaya, SUKAMULJO, Indonesia. At my left, Din ISRIYANET and Kirisa NAMDASH, Thailand. Marcus Fernandez, GIDEON, 272, Kirisa NAMDASH, level, play. Out. Place over.
Well, as they say in cricket parlance, that was a bit of a loosener. First serve of the match, an error.
Place over.
Really have been nigh on unbeatable this year, the two Indonesians, ranked 1 in the world.
Place over. 2, 1.
Series of errors, rather uncharacteristically, starting this match. Well, it was good defence initially from NAMDASH in particular.
Place over. 2. Oh.
Good serving.
Place over. 3, 2.
There's a little bit of drift in the hall.
Place over.
It's going from front to back as you look at your screen. bit fortunate with the net cord there. Didn't look like it was going to sneak over, but NAMDASH got a bit lucky. Nice play from ISRIYANET. This court was a bit of a graveyard for seeds yesterday. I mentioned players whose in went out, the #1 women's seed. There was some casualties in the doubles as well in terms of seeded players. Just missed that.
Race over. 5, 6. Go.
You can clearly see GIDEON and SUKAMULJO trying to move the ties around the court. Cramped for a room there. NAMDASH as he tried to play that. Unexpected error from SUKAMULJO there.
7, 8. Over. 8, 7. Whoa! 9, 7.
Just starting to assert a little bit now. Got feeds. Right into the body of NAMDASH, who could do nothing about it. So 11-7 is the lead as they go for the interval. Pretty good first half of that game as well. Just didn't quite know whether to play it as a drive. It was cramped for him, as you could see, because couldn't get the racket in the right position. Just 4 minutes for those.
Got 1, 20 seconds. Got 1, 20 seconds.
แล้วเวลาเราจิ้มไปมันคืนแรงตลอดเอ่ะบางทีไปตีแรงกลับไม่ได้
11, 7. Right.
Just looked a bit awkward, that shot, didn't it, from SUKAMULJO?
8.
Get himself in quite the correct position to play that. You can see why those two have had so much success. Just non-stop pressure that they put their opponents under. In the end, they forced the error.
Race over. 12, 8. Race over. 9, 12.
bit of rat-a-tat-tat at the net. Net keeping his nerve. Yeah, that one wasn't coming back.
Service over. 13, 10.
Not even a determined ISRIYANET could do much with that. Very sharp at the net, both GIDEON and SUKAMULJO.
14, 10.
Well, that's a case of
Service over.
a bite a bit, wasn't it?
11, 14.
Still need to come from behind, though, to do anything in this opening game, the ties. That's not going to help the cause.
Service over. 15, 11.
Once again, the power of GIDEON. You give him the chance to launch those jump smashes from
16, 11.
SUKAMULJO, I beg your pardon, but either of them really. You give them the chance from any kind of range like that and you're in big trouble.
Service over. Too high. Service over. 12, 16.
First time serve has been penalised for height. Good leave.
Service over. 17, 12.
They just really have had the better of those little exchanges at the net. That was a bit fortunate, obviously, but the bossing that particular area, that was a late decision to play it. So often happens. Change your mind, and they say he who hesitates is lost. Just a couple of points away now from the opening game. Would have been a shot of the week if that had landed in.
Service over. 13, 19.
Yeah, it was good. Very nicely placed. And here are 7 game points for the #1 seeds. Once again, they get the better of that net exchange. 21 points to 13 in pretty quick time. The #1 seeds take the opening game.
ถ้าเราได้ดักจริงๆฆ่าได้เลยปุ๊บคือมาแล้วปุ๊บเตรียมบล็อกลงแล้วเวลามันตีสอดมันอะไรเงี้ยสอดมันตีลงได้มันตีหลบเราได้บางทีเขาทอดมาต้องรอดักตรง
หาช่องดีๆบางทีมันจะมีช่องข้างหน้าว่าง
บางทีไม่ต้องแบบเอากับชิดก็ได้แบบต้อง หลบไปชุบหลบแล้วขยับเข้ามาหลบปั๊บขยับเข้ามา
พอเคลียร์ไปรีบแล้วคนมากก็เคลียร์ดีคนหลังก็ต้องคอยสอบเพื่อจะเข้าไปเล่นข้างบนกระแทกดันไม่ได้
ก็ไอ้ลูกที่รับเตะขึ้นไปลูกสองไม่ต้องไปตีแรงมันเสียไป3-4 ลูกอ่ะมันคืนแรงตลอดเสียเยอะ
So just 10 minutes for that opening game.
Level. Play.
Mentioned they were taking the 3 games yesterday, Gideon and SUKAMULJO. Look like they're in the groove though this afternoon. Raw power from Gideon again.
2. Love.
It's great technique.
Love.
Little bit of assistance from the net.
Service over. 1-3.
Question of belief as much as anything else, you think, for ISRIYANET and NAMDASH. Really deep down. I think they can upset the favourites here. Oh, that's beautifully done. You said they were dragged across to one side of the court. The shuffle went the other.
4-1. Service over. 2.
ไป
Well, encouragement is pretty much all they can give at the moment. Because tactically, getting out fast a little bit here. If Gideon doesn't get you,
Service over.
SUKAMULJO will.
5-2.
Well, that was better. That was better from ISRIYANET and NAMDASH.
สบายเว้ยกล้าเล่น
3.
หาช่อง
Trying to give the Indonesians a taste of their own medicine there, and working them into one area. Late decision to leave it, but a good one.
Service over. 6-4.
Well, that was just a gift, really, wasn't it? A nothing shot, and SUKAMULJO
4.
couldn't believe his luck, really.
Service over. 5.
Surprising miss.
7.
Doesn't look like it's going to be particularly costly. Yeah, well read.
6-7.
And Dash really quickly picked out what he was going to do with that serve.
4.
Every time they kind of get within range, the ties,
Service over.
they get pushed back a little bit.
6.
But you still get the impression that Gideon and SUKAMULJO could go up a gear if they needed to. Again, excellent placement from SUKAMULJO. Good angle.
9-6.
And this was about the point in the first game where they just started to pull away. I think they were 11-6 up from memory at the interval.
Service over. 7, 9.
Well anticipated, just snapped into that backhand. Into the angle. Well worth another look. Tremendous wrist action there. Generate the power.
Service over. 8, 10.
Well played. Gideon and SUKAMULJO, great rally. And they have a 3-point advantage at the interval.
ถ้าเองถือว่าถ้าข้ามไปแต่ว่าสั้นอะเราก็ได้โดนหยอดไปทีแต่ถ้าเองตีผ่านเร็วตีผ่านเร็วแต่คนหน้าได้ดักสองเวลาเองตีแดนหน้าแล้วตีลงปุ๊บดัก1ดัก2ลูก3มันต้มอะเหมือนเดิมพอตีเองหยุดได้เนี่ยโดนมันเลี้ยงโดนเข้าไปเลยไม่ต้องไปห่วงหลังตีกระโดดเข้าไปให้เด็ดขาดเลยบีบให้เด็ดขาดมันขาดไปจังหวะนึงอะ
Interesting to note that Gideon and SUKAMULJO didn't take the interval, they just stayed on the court.
11, 8. Play.
Which gives you some idea how they're feeling.
12, 8.
Confidence-wise. Doesn't seem there's anything really that ISRIYANET and NAMDASH can do to stem the tide of points their opponents are winning.
Service over. 9-30.
To be fair, that's about the first net cord they've had. Their opponents have had several.
Service over. 14, 9.
Oh, brilliant! What a shot! Not sure how much was instinct, but phenomenal.
19, 9.
How on earth did he contort his racket into that position? Absolutely brilliant. Don't try that at your local club. You might end up looking a bit silly.
Service over.
Well, from the sublime to the ridiculous.
50.
Basic net cord. What a shot, though, just before. Easy kill to Gideon.
Service over. 16, 10.
Yeah, well done. ISRIYANET was very quick to come across there at the net, just
11, 18.
make the kill. Still a lot of work to do, and that is very disappointing.
Service over. 17, 11.
Just can't afford, against a pair that are dominating you, to give them cheap points like that, the service error.
Service over. 12, 17. Service over. 18, 12.
The determination of
Service over.
NAMDASH there, but it does look like increasingly it's going to be in vain. As the Indonesians just 3 points away from taking the match.
Service over. 19, 30.
Like daggers to the heart, these service errors. Called him with the flick serve, and now 7 match points for GIDEON and SUKAMULJO. Unlucky, but that's going to be the end of it. 21-13 in both games. I think he's okay. I hope he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. Just rather outclassed. They walked on court at noon, and they're walking off. It's barely 12:30. A bloodless victory for the #1 seeds. 21-13. 21-13 as ISRIYANET takes a tumble. Down and out, literally, I'm afraid, from his point of view. Minutes only. We're back shortly.